Hi Greedy 3Ds, if you're thinking about getting into airbrushes and you're not quite sure what to get and you don't want to spend a vast amount of money, you just want a cheap kit that gives you everything to at least get started in the hobby. Now Neoeco have sent me this complete airbrush and compressor kit for me to review for you guys. So let's unpack it, let's review it and let's see it working. So just to be completely transparent, Neoeco have sent me this absolutely free. I have not bought it. It's been sent to try and I will give you guys an honest review. So what's in the box? Well, here we've got an Airbrush Resource Centre card. We'll come to that later. We've got a hose which is 6 foot long. That's a really good length hose which fits most, if not all, standard compressors. We've got 3 different sizes. The 0.3 is already in the machine, but there's a 0.2 and a 0.5 as well. We've got this paint cup, a nice big one, 1.35 ounces, which just literally attaches to the top with the lid as well, so keep it all protected. We have got this one also, which is a 0.3 ounce metal cup. Again, just connects straight to the top with a little O-ring on there. We've got, and this is always nice when you're in the UK, a 3-pin UK plug. They will send you the appropriate plug of your choice depending on the country you select. We've got this little cup as well. This is a 0.68 ounce cup as well with, you've guessed it, the lid. And here we have a little holder, an airbrush holder, which attaches straight to the compressor. Great little idea, nice and easy. This thing here is a quick disconnect coupler. I've not used that, but it's there if you need it. And there we've got the moisture trap. Now with the moisture traps, they've got a little push button on the end, and when it gets some fluid in there with the air compressor on, you just press the little button and away it goes. Now the compressor that we spoke about, you can have different PSIs, 16, 20 and 28 PSI on this little compressor, and I have used it and I've got to be honest, it's really good. Now the airbrush you get is a dual action airbrush. This is not the most expensive airbrush in the world, but this is a beginner cheap starter kit. It will do what you need it to do. You'll see it in action later. And here's that resource card again. Well, let's have a look at the resource centre. What is it? Well, it is a centre where you can go and look at some how to do things, and there's some easy setup guides. There are some how to do basic airbrushing. There's how to clean your airbrush. There's all sorts of things on there, and for nothing and for free. It's a really good resource that Elegoo have given you to access free of charge, so you can know how to use your airbrush if you are a complete beginner. And now this kit is aimed, of course, at the complete beginner. Now, what else have we got? We've got a cleaning kit. Now, this is really useful to have. When I first bought my airbrush, I needed to buy a cleaning kit, and that comes with it. And you get an instruction manual in lots of languages, including English. So I think that's a bonus too, considering I am in the UK. So this is what you get. Now again, this is aimed at the beginner. You get absolutely everything you need to start the airbrushing hobby, plus a little bit more, and it came to just under £55, about $70-ish if you were to buy it. So let's connect it all together. So there's the power lead. Let's take the compressor and plug it in, and there we go. You'll see the little light on there, the red light, to indicate that there's power. And to turn it on, all you need to do is press the little red light, and that will turn the compressor on and off. If you touch the green circle, it drops the PSI 3 different times, and then the power off. So green is to power on, and the one on the right, the circle, will change the PSI high, medium and low. Now you get the hose with it. Now don't forget, this is a 6-foot hose. It's a really good quality hose that comes with it, and like I say, it's long enough for what you need. You can trail it across from where your compressor is to where your airbrush is, and it comes with the standard connectors. There you see the moisture trap, which just literally screws into the compressor. Just pop it on there, give it a few turns till it's nice and tight, and on the one end you'll see there's a plastic screw thread, and that is where you attach the hose into it. Now make sure it's nice and tight. You want a good seal in there, and that will capture any moisture that happens to develop, and save you spraying it all over your models. And there's a little spring-loaded cap on the end there that you press when there's fluid in that will release it. And the airbrush itself, it's got a good weight to it. It feels like it's well built. It screws, it fits into the hose like any standard hairbrush, and Wonderful. There it is working now. It's a dual action, which means you push down for air and you pull back for paint. Most airbrushes are this way. You can get some trigger ones, but this is a dual action and it works absolutely fine. I can feel the pressure really flowing on my hands. It's really working well. I think we need to play with this one with some paint. So let me just pop the cap off. There we go. I'm going to get some paint in here. I'm going to move it across to the little paint booth section and let's have a little play spraying something up. Now what is interesting on it is there's a little adapter there. You can change the pressure on the bottom of the airbrush using that to turn it off completely or turn it off fully. Another great little touch. And again, some airbrushes don't even have that section attached. So to test it, I'm just going to use some matte white from the Army Painter. I've loaded it in and away we go, and there it is working. You can see that the white paint is being deployed across the model as you would expect it. You push down, you pull back, and it's doing exactly what you would expect this airbrush to do. It's consistent, it's working really well. The further you pull back the airbrush, the more paint is released. There is a little connector at the end where if you are new to the hobby and you don't want to put too much paint on, you can set a kind of limiter, if you will. I don't use that, I just turn it off really all the way out, and it allows me then to control my painting from the actual nozzle itself, from the pull down dual action trigger. And I've got no problem with this at all. It's doing what it's supposed to do. The paint's going on well. It feels light in my hand. It's easy to use. I'm really pleased with it. I've got absolutely no problem so far using this airbrush. The movement of it is smooth. It feels good in the hand. It feels well made. The smoothness of the trigger, I can't fault it. I really can't. It's working absolutely fine. I just want to go a little bit closer and just try to put some finer lines on there. If I take the end cap off and I put a little bit less pressure on, it will do an even finer line. I did a finer line a little bit later, but I didn't catch it on the old video. And I'm chuffed with this, you know. When I first started in the hobby, my airbrush kit was around about 80 to 90 quid, but this one, really good value at just under £55 will get you started. It's not, as you would expect, an absolute cheap and nasty bit of kit. It's really nice. You get all this for your money. I recommend this fully for a beginner. Now, the longevity of it, I can't say. I've used it for about a week, and I've used it many times in that week, and it seems to work really well. I've had no problems with it. I've had no issues with it. So far, so good. We'll review it a little bit further as time goes on. I'll do a review in about 6 months to see if it's still going. But so far, yep, Greedy 3D, I can recommend this airbrush for beginners, just under the £55, $70 mark. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Greedy 3D.